I can tell you that indeed the news of the passing on of the former Finance Minister Tito Mboweni has sent the shockwaves to the community of Nkwankwa, where he comes from. And we visited the family yesterday, and today we continue to reflect on his legacy, because understand that he did primary school at a village called Bordeaux, and then he went on to do his high school studies at a school called Bankuna High School here in Nkwankwa. Currently, we are actually at this very same school where he did his high school studies, and I'm now joined here by the school principal, the current principal of this school, Mynnah, Mohlaba, who is currently the principal here, and we want to reflect on some of the legacy of Ndate Tito Mboweni. And let's talk about Ndate Tito Mboweni. We understand that he was one of the learners in this very same school, and I understand it was back then around 1970s. What can you tell us about Ndate Tito Mboweni as a learner in this very same school?
Thank you, and thank you to the viewers. As a principal, the current principal of Bankuna High, it also shocked us as a Bankuna family. We woke up on the 12th of, that was Sunday, about the passing of the giant Tito Mboweni. I quickly came in the morning at the school and checked on the archives about him as a learner at Bankuna, and I found that he was a learner here at Bankuna. He was the learner of the class of 1978. And then as I go further checking on the archives, I find that he was the brightest learner as I checked on all the schedules that they did during his term at Bankuna. And he was also a science student where he obtained a lot of marks, which made him, in all the grades that he was at Bankuna, being a #1 learner. So we are saddened about his passing, but he was one of the giants which made Bankuna to have the name the mighty Bankuna.
And then we understand that he also played a role in the politics of this country, and you know him as an activist. Maybe just take us through what you remember about him back in the 1970s during the era of apartheid.
Thank you again. As an activist, I was still young because I'm younger by some years, 6 or 7 years than him. But we heard that he was an activist, one of the people who fought with the apartheid regime, who are where we are now because of one of him and his mates who made it possible. While I was still talking about this, while we were still young at primary school, we just had him and others. They were called terrorists by the former regime, and we didn't know about it until we heard that they are not terrorists, but they were just fixing what was wrong about our country.
And we understand that this man was also, a visionary, a community leader, and he played a very significant role, particularly at the Reserve Bank and when he was the Minister of Labor during the President Mandela's era. What do you remember about him, and what are some of the legacy that we're really going to remember him?
About the legacy that we remember Tito about, there are many students or many people who are learned now because they emulated this man. They knew that education will really bring the country back, will take it back from the apartheid. I can say that the village where he's coming from, there are so many people who now are at the high ranks of the Department of Education, at all the departments, and also are leaders in the country. I can say Tito Mboweni was one of the greatest leaders that we'll never forget. In one instance, I was joyful talking with some of my colleagues or the students whom we were together at the university. I told them that I was bragging that we have one in the Tsonga community who is signing the bank notes. And if he gets tired, he will just relax and don't sign and will go to the bank and don't get money. That was one of the things which made many of us to be proud of him.
And then what are the learners here saying, studying at the very same school where the giant like Tito Mboweni, we understand that he also studied here. So what are the learners saying, and what message is this, bringing to the young people who wants to be, most important people in future?
Thank you. The learners are so saddened. I can tell you one instance. Last year, because Bankuna didn't have previously have good results in their matric, we started to have camps. That is, the learners of Bankuna, when we start writing or in all the holidays, we are camping at the school. Tito Mboweni is one of the people who were funding our camps. Last year, he funded the camps that we were at the school for 45 days, writing the exam, sleeping here, having breakfast, lunch, and supper. He contributed and he made it possible that our learners were having something to eat. He gave the school everything. Therefore, we previously, that is 2022, our results were at 50.7. Through him, we managed to pull from 50.7 to 84.6. That is the percentage that we got. The learners were happy. Even this year, we're going to start the camp on the 19th of October. They were just gunning it that Tito Mboweni is going to do it again. And then now they are saddened because he's no more.
Thank you so much for talking to us here on SABC News. That is the principal of Bankuna High School, where Tito Mboweni did his, high school studies. But, reflecting on the legacy that he's leaving behind, I can tell you that indeed people around here are saddened by his passing. But indeed, he's leaving quite a rich legacy to the people of Bankuna High School and the surrounding villages.